Hello and welcome to yet another Warcraft 3 commentary casting thing, and today it is another 2v2 from the WFDC. And that's right, today we have Today we have Thu spawning as the purple human in the bottom of the map, partnered with Yumiko spawning as the other purple human on the left side of the map, versus Hainiu spawning as the elf, as the green elf in fact, on the top part of the map, partnered with Dafei spawning as the green orc on the right side of the map. So that's right, I love these 2v2s from WFDC. I do. It seems like a lot of the professional players are teaming up and they're fighting a lot of the lesser known but pretty good players, so they're really just bringing some really good games. And I think a lot of these are actually played on the VS client, which means I'm pretty sure these are all like Chinese players perhaps. I don't know that for sure, but I think so. Actually, one second, let me just, I've went ahead and based off a particular viewer's comments. I don't want to butcher his name because I can't quite remember it, so I won't mention it, but giving me some good advice about the mouse scrolling, and it does help. It definitely helps. It really does. So here we do see some footmen from Yumiko coming up here, just going to be scouting around, maybe getting ready to creep this out. We'll see what happens. And over here we have the same thing with Thu's footman, except I'm going down here. It looks like he's just getting ready, and maybe they're looking to see if anybody's going to come gank him over here while they creep this out. That's a possibility. Here we do see the Archmage from Thu, as well as a footman. Looks like some militia are going to go for that creep. And over here, for Yumiko, we can see that his Archmage and footman are actually looking like they're going to come down here and help creep this out, perhaps? I'm not sure. That would be an interesting choice. But over here we do see for Dafei, we have his Blade Master and Grunt perhaps going to creep right here, it looks like. And yes, and up here for the Hainiu, the elf, I'm hopefully not butchering his name too terribly bad, we have him creeping up here with this Ancient of War, an Archer, and a Demon Hunter. So if we look over here, we can see this is Thu's Archmage taking the experience, while Yumiko's Archmage is really just running around. Perhaps they were just wondering to see if that Blade Master was going to come in and harass them, and just preparing for the worst in that situation. Because, of course, this is very important, and have that too much harass right there could have absolutely stopped this expansion from going up, and that's what I'm assuming we're going to see here. We do have the makings of an expansion. This is a very fast expansion. Yes, it is indeed an expansion, and we might even see the same thing over here. In fact, we see a Hunter's Hall, an Ancient of War, so we don't quite see an expansion just yet, and we do see Thu having that scout farm right there, very good scout farm placement. This will allow him to see if anything comes this way. Over here we can see that we do have a little bit of skirmish going on. Over here we have the Archmage from Yumiko running away from the Demon Hunter. Looks like he probably took one mana burn. I'm not sure about that, but we do have these footmen running up in there. We have an Archer, maybe it's going to get a little bit of damage from this footman. No, just going to get some free hits off on that footman. Here the Archers, the footmen are running into the base. Yeah, Hainiu, not really teching yet. Just getting up another Ancient of War and his base to help defend against any kind of harass. And over here we do see that he's making some Huntresses, in fact, so maybe we're going to see some Tier 1 Huntresses. Here we do see that the Wisps are being harassed by these footmen. Looks like two of them do go down, however I believe both of them were able to detonate, which means they don't take, no experience was given, and that is in fact what has happened. Over here we can see that the footmen are harassing that, and they do see that there are Huntresses out on the map. Here we do see a one Wisp that is being damaged by the Archmage. Is it going to get a detonate off? It looks like it's not going to get a detonate off, so it does go ahead and give 25 experience right over there to Yumiko's Archmage. And over here we do see a little bit of a fight going on here. We have the Demon Hunter and the Blade Master, as well as several Grunts over here, as well as an Archer basically going ahead and doing the skirmish. And of course we don't want him, Yumiko, or Thu does not want him to go down to his expansion, which is only protected by an Arcane Tower at this point. Here we do see him retreating those footmen, however, in those areas the Archmage. We do see the Blade Master goes ahead and picks up a boost of speed, and here we can see this is going on. Well, here we can see that the Blade Master is coming in here, perhaps going to open on the Archmage, opens on the Archmage, doing a lot of damage. The Grunts have also decided to start targeting the Archmage as well, as the Archmage begins to run away from this harass. And here we do see him being chased again by that by the Blade Master. We do see Yumiko's militia coming in here. Perhaps we'll also see some militia from Thu. This is going to be held probably pretty easily by those militia. If we look back over here, we can see that Thu's Archmage is being chased very, very precariously by this Blade Master. He does have boots and the Archmage does not, so he is faster and he is able to get several hits. And here we do see another thing, and it's going to force another Windwalk is going to force Thu to go ahead and teleport. Here we do see back down here at this fight, we do see these militia able to go ahead and defend this fairly easily, as well as these Huntresses not really going to go down, but we do see these peasants running back over here, and now we're going to see them go ahead and start to build a arcane vault. In the shop here, we do see one of the summons is going to go down, and there you go. We do see that the footman not going to really be able to do much right here. Probably just going to get picked off, and in fact, it does go ahead and get picked off. That Demon Hunter has taken quite a bit of life loss, but he's not really too worried against what he's fighting. He's pretty microable against just footmen. And we do see a lot of these footmen just coming in here from Thu. Not really doing a whole lot, but I guess maybe he's just hoping to overwhelm the elf eventually. Of course, he can't really run away too much because footmen are not that fast, and as you can see, they can be caught by the Demon Hunter, and they can especially be caught by Huntresses. Here we see Thu's Archmage, which I was wondering what happened to it. I guess he went over maybe to one of these shops up there somewhere, and went ahead and bought a Staff of Teleportation after it had to TP, and maybe it TP'd over here and came down. That would have been a smart move. Grabbing some items from the shop and immediately going ahead and healing up with them. Like, good move right there by Thu. And over here we can see Yumiko actually going ahead and harassing the elf's base in the meanwhile during the ending of that fight. And maybe he was even here the whole time. I didn't see his Archmage down there in that fight, so that might have been what we saw happen. This, of course, has a Staff of Teleportation as well as Boots of Speed, so he can run away from that Blade Master no problem. Here we do see these footmen are just wreaking havoc where they can. Over here we do see that Hainiu and the Grunts are going ahead, as well as the Shadow Hunter creeping out the middle right here, this fountain, which is going to give them some very nice items. We already have a Book of the Dead on the Demon Hunter, as well as a Potion of Greater Mana now, which is going to be passed over to the Head Hunter, which is a really nice item to have on a Shadow Hunter. Over here we do see there's still no expansion, and there's no expansion over here just yet either. Here you can see that Yumiko is still tier 1, while Thu is tier 2. So it's very interesting to see this dynamic. We do see that the elf is also tier 1, and over here we do see that the orc is tier 2. We do see some harass going off onto these here orc burrows, and we do see that Hainiu has gone ahead and been forced to go ahead and place his moonwells into his ally's base. That way, because his base was unfortunately undefendable, and as you can see, it's actually going to lose yet another moonwall. And here we do see a little bit of repairing going on these burrows, but not really going to be able to do too much against that. Here we see that they are mounting an attack with the Grunts, the Demon Hunter, and the Shadow Hunter, as well as using that Book of the Dead to go ahead and try to take this down. While we see Yumiko and Thu with their 2 towers, their 2 arcane towers, and we see Yumiko placing 2 towers as well. Yumiko also has a lumber mill up right here, and he's mining wood. So we have quite a few units from both Yumiko and Thu right here. We do see Yumiko's peasants are running away, and if we look back over here, we can see that this is the main actually taking a lot of damage. It looks like Yumiko is trying to kill the main. He's going to kill several wisps in the process, and over here we look and see that all of these burrows have died, and so that's not good. He is going to be supply capped now. At that point, we do have the Blade Master down here fighting, and we do see that this is actually not going to be defended by either Thu or Yumiko. It would be very hard to defend either way because they do have Spirit Link on these Grunts, and these Huntresses are going to go ahead and be going to be able to take down these towers no problem. These Arcane Towers are really only a problem for the summons, not really a huge problem for anything else. We do have 2 peons here, which is a good thing, given that we might see every one of these peons die right here. As you can see, there are several footmen in the gold mine, or the peon gold mine right there. You can see this Tree of Life actually finally going to go down after a very long fought harass right there. And here we do see Thu's Archmage running away from the Blade Master. And back down to here, we can see that this blacksmith is about to go down. There's only 1 arcane tower up right now, and all of these units are alive. So there's really nothing that Thu or Yumiko can do to this army. However, we do have some casters out. I'm not sure if they died. They may have immediately died, but they did manage to get off a slow right there. And if we look back over here, we can see that the Arcane Sanctums are being built, and we do in fact have a Sorceress as well as a Rifleman out. And so in the meantime, we're just seeing Yumiko. This is kind of a crazy and a really crazy game so far, but it looks like Yumiko and Thu are probably ahead at this point because they do still have plenty of workers, whereas Dafei and Hainiu are basically trying to run around the map and hide buildings at this point. While they do have the superior army, and they certainly have the army advantage, they don't really have the ability to finish off as easily because we do see several guard towers right there, as well as plenty militia would be able to come here, and we do see a lumber mill going down, so we may end up seeing as well some guard towers over here at Yumiko's base, maybe, but probably won't be in time, because we do see Hainiu coming over here. But however, I do believe this is something that they could defend, just these 4 Huntresses and the Demon Hunter, who is almost level 4 now. We can look over here, we can see lots of stuff going on. We do see Dafei's main going down as well, and there goes the peon right there. It looks like it's going to die. Not a lot he can do to defend that, and we do see really a lot of resources. The resource advantage is clearly going to be on the human team side right now. That is Thu and Yumiko, and we do see just this footman for some reason just deciding, you know, I'm gonna whack on this this Hunter's Hall until it dies. You can't really whack on the Ancient of Wars, but he can absolutely whack on that. And we do see down here that the expansion has finally dropped completely, and over here we do see that this is Hainiu going ahead and attacking this barracks. We do see 2 barracks from Yumiko, in fact, and he's going ahead and putting up his guard towers. Now, we do see a blacksmith going up right here, so we're going to be able to see a mobile army coming in from Thu at some point. Not quite yet, but I guess it's somewhat mobile against maybe a Blade Master, not a problem, but against the entirety of the Orc and the Elf's army, this, never mind, that is a lot of footmen. That is definitely a lot of footmen. I do believe Yumiko has enough footmen there between the 2 of them. They're both going to TP in. They're going to be able to defend this with those casters. I think it probably won't be a problem, especially with all the militia they can bring in right now, and we will probably see that happen. And here we do see this is going to be a fight. Do they have a Dispel? They do not have a Dispel. They just have the the heal and the slow. We do have a dust going off onto the Blade Master. We do see a lot of fight, but that's so many footmen. It's going to be very difficult. In fact, we also see Blizzard being cast. They don't need double aura, do they? No. So they have They have Yumiko's Archmage going ahead and skilling up Water Elemental as well as Blizzard. Water Elemental very useful in this fight, but also it would only be level 1 for Yumiko, whereas level 1 Blizzard is more useful, perhaps, than the level 1 Water Elementals. And we do see the level 2 Water Elementals out for Thu. And in fact, they are pushing this back. No problem. It looks like they have so many footmen, and the casters are really going to help. Are they going to be able to get a surround off on all of these? It looks like they're going to be able to get a surround off right there. Able to go ahead and pick off some more units with the Blizzard, and the GG is called. What an intense game. Good game. I do believe that Thu and Yumiko had the advantage throughout with the expansion, as well as the fact that just had so many footmen, and they were able to really delay Hainiu and Dafei from really doing a lot of damage to their main bases because of the expansion. So that was really well played. And from what I remember, this is game 1. This should be game 1, and game 2 will be the next game. So I will see you guys there. It'll be right here. You can just click on it if you want, and I'll see you there.